Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Friday morning's Messages of Love from Above. And got a little different setup. I got all my desks and stuff laying here. If I could move the camera without messing everything up, I'd show it to you. But it's beautiful, like a snow globe. So happy Friday morning or Friday evening to you, wherever you guys are at in the world. And we're just going to get everything set up and get going here. All right. Looks like the chat is working. That is good. Welcome to pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. Hopefully you guys are not having anything too difficult happen. Uh, Last week, I had my coffee pot just quit, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, Mercury retrograde. But it was old anyway. It needed to be replaced. So it's always a win-win. All right. Good to see you guys. Hey, Supernova and everybody here. Hello, hello. Let me change this to live chat. There we go. And if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. First of all, thank you so much for being here. We got a great group of individuals with wonderful, huge hearts and senses of humor. That's a great combo. So I'm excited to see what comes through today. Before I get started, do want to make sure everyone knows we got a Sagittarius new moon coming up Monday. And here is a pick a card reading that talks about how to make the most of your new moon 10 wishes. And then also there's a pick a card and see what messages Spirit wants to bring in around this energy. I'll try not to stare out the window. It's beautiful outside. And then also, if you didn't catch last week's announcement of the winners for November, and for a chance to get into a drawing to win a 30-minute past life reading, be sure to check out that video because I did put out a video, an announcement about past life readings. I now offer those. Here is the link to that. So if you don't want to wait, they're half off until the end of the year. So you can get a half-hour reading for $10 and an hour reading for $25. So if you want to check those out, there's the link to all that. So I think that was everything I wanted to do. Let me just move that out of the way and shrink this down a little bit. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, now I can see everything. So we will get started for the donation reading. I'm going to be using the Tarot of Dreams. And for free readings, I'm going to be using the Santa Muerta deck here. I love this deck. So actually, I love all my decks. Here's the Tarot of Dreams if you guys are interested in getting those there. All right. So let's jump in. So sorry, the snow's coming down, so it's clearing up my sinuses. So sorry you have to hear that. But we will jump in here. And so Supernova, thank you so much for your donations. Let's give these a shuffle and let's get into it. Hey, Great Quartz. Hot Sun, everybody. So good to have you guys here. Hope you had a great week. So let's give your first donation here some love, Supernova. So we'll do two of yours and then Priyanka and then back to Supernova. All right. So, so reading number one, I see this will be here. So recently, you've been feeling more like yourself, more organic, naturally happier. Yay. Now having more clarity. What is the spiritual or general reason behind it? All right. I know. Yeah, you guys are headed into summer, aren't you? We got winter solstice coming up here in a few weeks, and you get summer solstice. So, yeah, I'm a winter baby, so I do love the cold weather. All right, wow. So sorry. Well, so you have the Knight of Wands coming in here first. And the Knight of Wands is all about fast moving energy in this quest that the Knights are on for the Ace of Wands. So you're part of what has allowed you this, clarity, this feeling of happiness is you're stepping into your power of choice, knowing that whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. And so you're having this. You also have the Nine of Pentacles with this Hermit's journey, which, I mean, literally, you have the Hermit card too. So you got this very independent feeling with stepping into this power too, because you've got this joining together of your with your higher self here, because you also have the Knight of Cups, the pursuit of higher love, and the Two of Cups of course can be romance, blah blah blah, but it also is your relationship with your higher self, which is what it is for you here. And so with all this Hermit energy, two knights, which you're pursuing this energy of higher, a higher vibration, higher love vibration, independence, defining yourself inward and upward instead of out in the outside world. So as you've been cutting away, which I'm going to do this because I'm getting used to my new camera setup. So apologies. I was doing so well for a minute there. But you got this balancing with the Justice card. You see the, the Ace of Swords here in the middle, which helps you balance out by connecting to the capital T truths of the higher realm. You're becoming aware of the small T truths that are rooted in fears that you've been um, clearing away. So with this adjustment of mindset, this adjustment of energy, your focus of your heart and your mind and your energy, it's because of the work that you've been putting in, the focus and the awareness that you've been putting in is where this transformation is happening. Because ultimately you got the Five of Cups, which is, we're taught to focus in on the spilt cups, the broken cups down here, and we miss out for a while on the Two of Cups behind us, which is the power of emotional choice, that I get to choose what something means. I get to choose how I feel about things, right? And this is what's been happening here. You've been feeling more like yourself because you've been out of fear less, and maybe spending more time by yourself, maybe with all that hermit energy. At least you've been focused internally more so than externally. And so the more we focus inward and upward, connect to that unconditional love, the less we're pulled out into these outside world chaotic energies. And an amazing thing happens when we begin to work on releasing some old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. They're like dominoes that happen within us too. They'll be like some things will just kind of go backwards, right? They'll be like you deal with a belief about something happening, and then it kind of just refiles things within our being. We don't have to go through every single one. Sometimes when we have like a belief that is connected to other things, it will just automatically spill out into those things, and you'll feel this transformation to be like, what just happened? Well, your subconscious is working through things and doing things on your behalf too. And so that's what happens with those. So that is the reason why a lot of the, give yourself a lot of credit and a high five from spirit of, you've been putting in the energy and the work on questioning things and releasing things. The willingness to do it is what puts the energy forward into it. So I like that for you, Supernova. So that's for your first one. And let's give your second donation some love here, since it lets me do that. And you want some messages from Kurt's spirit. Let's see, does he want to? Yep, tarot today. All right. Chatty Kurt. Let's take a look here. Let's get these in order here. Yeah. Okay. So I put cards back in, some of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So below the surface, he wants you to know. Yeah, look at how much this is recognized. He's confirming, yes, you've been doing so much. You've been doing this balancing, connecting to this higher knowledge, connecting to this higher awareness. And I like this because they're telling you with this newfound awareness, you do have the Three of Wands, which is about identifying what it is you want to do and not being afraid to change course as you move forward here too. And, there's this energy that has this, um, like you plot to go from the middle of like a middle of a continent to the shore. And then once you get to the shore, you're going to board a ship and go this direction. That's the Ace of Wands to the Two of Wands, which is planning and taking action. And you go from A to B. And then literally, with the C, SEA, here, you reach the sea. And it's like, well, you know what? There's a different boat I want to head off on. And I like this. They're like, don't feel like you have to plan and plot your entire life. Be in the moment. Look at the next thing. Put form around what you want to do, make some plans, but don't feel like you're um married to that for life. It's like, you know what, you can head off in that direction, and then once you reach a certain point, you're like, you know what, I'm going to take this direction, and then you can go, and then I'm going to go this direction, and then this direction. You can even go this direction and then that direction. It's a journey. It's not a task. This is your life's journey. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Because you have the strength card here too, which shows you do have the courage, your Leo energy. But this also is developing in the focus, developing this relationship with your higher self. And like you said, you don't feel like you've been doing anything, but there's so much that's done subconsciously in your dreams, doing these things. Um, you know, well, we all do until we change our habits, right? Because this, the human side of you, which is the tiger in this one, you're taught to, focus on we're all taught to focus on our fears, focus on this, focus on that, fear the future, reflect on the past and feel guilty about it. But don't be in the now, for God's sake, go these directions. And it takes time to learn a new habit. And if we don't beat ourselves up about it, that's what is about. And here, the Nine of Pentacles. So you had the Justice card that came out before, the Nine of Pentacles coming out before, which this is you looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And sometimes we don't feel like we're doing something, we don't feel like we're putting a lot of stuff, but when we're thinking, when we're feeling, and even like watching a movie, there's stuff that happens, it's where every moment we are doing, every moment we are being, and every moment things are happening, we're experiencing. And you are choosing what you want to experience, who you're hanging around. You're making these choices, and you feel like, well, I don't feel like I'm doing anything, but you are. If you look back just 6 months ago, you can see where you were focusing, how you were focusing, who you were hanging around with, what you were getting involved in with drama. And you're like, I'm not being engaged, I'm not being drawn in. And that is doing, right? And I like this here because, again, he brings up the Five of Cups. You're in here, you're in this emotional choices, because it's like, and you'll notice this, that, when you're in a loud, let's say you live in a bar where they're playing loud music 24/7, and you go outside, it's quiet, it's like deafening, because it's so different than what you're used to. Excuse me. But you um, will realize now that the noise sounds much louder, because being at peace is more your norm. You've moved from 99% hanging out there, that you're like, maybe you're at 50-50, right? But you're realizing, you know what? I'm making my own choices. I'm making different choices than I had before. And then, you have the Six of Coins, which is the balancing of the outside world. And you're getting into the root, when with this Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, you've been putting in the effort of releasing people, from the past. You were looking at, why do I have such an out of balance where I have to give, 1,000 love coins before I deserve one back? And you've been releasing people, from the wrath from your childhood. You're like, you know what? I understand them now. I'm seeing that my parents had, you know, a rough time of it too when they were younger and they only were doing what they were taught. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna, release them from this judgment, and I'm forgiving them. I'm releasing them. I'm pouring out the pain. So I'm no longer going to be a vessel of pain because of other people's actions or non-actions, words or non-words. And then I can fill up with love instead. So he's saying that, I feel like, that he's just telling you, um, I feel like he's like, dude, he'd call you like, dude, look how far you've come. You know, so much of be gentle with yourself. Why you being such a critic of yourself? Look at everything you've done. Look how far you've come. I feel like they're pointing you backward just momentarily to see how far you've come and then come back to the now. So I like that. They are such a cheerleader for you. And maybe I don't know if they lived a parallel life because they're like, I know, I lived it too, and so I feel like they are encouraging you for that. So I love that. I love their energy. So that's what they have for you, Supernova, for your second question. So we shall be back to you here in a moment. We're gonna jump to Priyanka, who is next. So Priyanka, let me give your donation some love here. Thank you for that. And you like a love reading? Absolutely. Let me just give this some give this some uh sorry, the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Cups, which is all about love. So below the surface, oh wow, yeah, and then you have also the Two of Swords. And so you do have with two twos coming in here, and of course focusing on love, that you do have this underlying energy of choice coming in. And with the Two of Swords, there's like this message of close your eyes and open your heart regarding love. And that means getting out of our head, getting out of the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, all those beautiful musts and all those restrictions and expectations that just suck the life out of relationships, right? So let's see what advice they have here for you and what other information they want to give you here. So you got 1, 2, and 2 in addition to this other two twos. Let's see what we got here. So you do have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is about having some beautiful stability in the outside world. Pentacles is the outside world. Four Pentacles, four walls. So it is a solid foundation out here in the outside world. Home really stands out. And so if you are thinking of changing homes or moving homes or back home, someone from home, I feel like there's this definitely this draw and pointing here. Let's see what else these cards have here. Okay. Yeah. you know, these palaces, this Palace of Pentacles here. Let me see if I can do it this way. So the Palace of Coins, the Palace of Pentacles. Palaces are unique to this deck. They don't normally appear in in the tarot. And so this represents a place of safety. I always look at this as, from the Wizard of Oz, here's the Emerald City. Follow the yellow brick road. And the Five of Swords is the conflict again, like the Two of Swords. There's your heart and your mind are battling. And it's like you're on the search. You're on the search for something outside of you. And that's what the whole theme of the Wizard of Oz is that the lion is looking for courage, and the Tin Man is looking. Wait, yeah, and Tin Man's looking for a heart, and the Scarecrow's looking for a brain, and Dorothy's looking for a way home, and they discover all along that they had everything within them already. And this is what this is coming into, is being aware of this external search that is coming in here. That they're pointing you to inward and upward to find the love you're looking for is in here. This self-love is what we're searching for. When we look for it outside of ourselves, that's our mind and our heart battling. Our mind saying, well, we're supposed to find it out here, but our heart, our high heart inside is going, no, 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 in here. And because when you look out here, you constantly find disappointment in what we're looking for in people and places and situations and things. It falls short because it can't give us what we're looking for. We're looking for a 10-course meal inside our heart. All the outside world can give us is the desserts. And our inside 10-course meal comes with 2 desserts. So everyone can only give us third dessert and beyond. And so when we're looking for a full course meal at a dessert restaurant buffet that has nothing but desserts, we're disappointed. We're like, where's the food? Can only have so many sweets before your body, like your heart is craving something more nutritious. I like that. So, you know, once you fill up on the inside and you're overflowing, then the world and the love that people can give on the outside world, instead of it falling short and being disappointing, it's above and beyond and overflowing. So I feel like there's this battling going back and forth between the head and your heart. And as soon as you align that here, then things do move forward because I feel like things are paused, giving you time to turn inward and upward so that you don't keep drawing in the old relationships that you've had in the past, right? When we do what we have always done, we get what we've always gotten, which is and so as you as it's pauses so it doesn't draw in these things. So you raise your love vibration, then it draws in something more. And when you do that, things do start to speed up here with the Knight of Wands, which is, passion and movement that happens, and the Eight of Pentacles too here, which is this movement of the outside world. It's the person who's been doing the studying and graduating, going to the next level, going up, things moving in the outside world and progression. But I feel a big piece of all this is to, it's inward and upward is what speeds things up. That self love, as we expand it, does bring that higher vibration things in faster because again everything is paused so we don't draw in the old stuff fast. It's like it's delayed and slowed down. It's stuck in mud so it can't get to us while we're raising our love vibration. And as you raise your love vibration, I love the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom, then they we don't you stop attracting that older lower vibrational relationships and experiences and you start bringing in higher vibration. So big deep breath and inward and focus on this higher love. We connect more to the higher realms by energetically focusing on them, giving it our time, our attention, our love energy, our mental energy, releasing old thoughts that don't serve us anymore, old emotions that don't serve us anymore, releasing the expectations around love on what we're told that the outside world is supposed to mean, how that's supposed to unfold. And instead, we turn inward and upward, and then we allow spirit to bring in the perfect person in the perfect way in the perfect timing. So I like that for you. So that is what is coming in for you right now. So hopefully that helps, Priyanka. And many blessings to you. Again, thank you so much for your donation. And then Supernova, thank you for your additional donation here. Let me give that some love. All right. And then question 3, messages from guides about moving forward in creative endeavors. All right, let's take a look here. Give those a shuffle. All right. And then we'll have Patty and Johanna, and then back to you, Supernova. Thank you guys so much for your donations. It definitely helps here, me being able to offer things. All right. Some messages from guides about moving forward in creative endeavors. All right. So let's see what we got here. You got 1 and then 3 and then 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So the first card up is see, I'm doing that again. Can you see over here? I don't think you can. So you got the Lovers card, which is like that Two of Cups card. This is about um, to move forward in creative endeavors. It's important that you connect with your creator within, right? And that's you, that's your higher self. We're all little mini me's, little mini creators. And when we're focused on the outside world, of course, that's the noise, that's the fear, that's what draws us out. But the more we connect inward and upward and connect and create this relationship, it's like that strength card. You've got the tiger, you got the maiden, your higher self. They don't try to kill one another. We're taught that they're supposed to, but they actually complete one another. The higher self completes our human self. Our higher self needs nothing. It's perfect as it is. It's the our in the form of our you know human self that we're in need, and so that's what happens with that. It comes together that way, and so I feel like that's the first thing. You also, when it goes 3, 2, 1, you end up with the Hermit card, which is about you turning inward and upward, because what's in the lantern is your higher self and spirit. So on the bookends on either side are about inward and upward, connect to the creative force, all of spirit, the creator itself, and you're always the hermit. I am a hermit. I'm very much an introvert, but I it's because I connect with spirit, and it just feels so quiet and beautiful with spirit. But you do have here, see, I'm going to do that for a while. You got the Wheel of Fortune, which is trusting that everything does unfold for you, and that even your human will enjoy this. But it does take here, oops, sorry, a little butt crack there. But you've got the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords. This is becoming aware of your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore and that have deceived you and stolen out of your life before. So, there is this, beautiful energy of, um, getting the thinking and, continuing, especially since you had the Justice card, just continuing to, whenever anything comes up, you just, journal. Journaling is such an important thing for you, because swords is also scribing. And I feel like it's important for you, to journal and get everything down, because you'll look back on this journal, like like Taylor Swift does, and that's where she finds her songs, her stories, the emotions to share. And when you're in the moment of journaling and spilling out the emotion onto paper, when you are in a different place looking back, you see different perspectives of it too. Because then you also have, I mean, you've got both of these. You had the Wheel of Fortune with a 10 with two swords cards, and then you also have another 10 with swords, leaving behind emotions that no longer, not emotions, thoughts that no longer serve you. Again, this movement of, the mind and all this. 10 of Wands is the change of where you're investing your energy too. That you've got this, you know, ability to, where am I investing all my energy in my life, and is that in alignment with where I want to go, where I want to head? And so the creative energy there, it's important to take time to rest. It's important to take time, to just to for you. But if you find yourself like, I'll go through periods where I'm like, oh, I just don't feel any energy. I'm just going to watch Netflix, or I'm going to watch a movie and then another movie. And then before I know it, the day's gone. And then it's like, okay, well, I must needed rest. And that's okay. We need pockets of that. We need to give our time for that. But if I'm doing it all the time, that's why my energy starts to dwindle more and more, because the energy I'm investing isn't for my dream. It's more, and I feel like that's what is important here. This is all this movement of thought and belief and mindset. Journal things, and then just do one action thing per day, and then you'll get more excited and you'll want to do two. Then you'll get more excited and want to do three, and before you know it, you're excited about it all. Balance is important, but it's about what do you want to do and where do you want to go. And if you don't have energy towards some things, we could be it's either fear keeping it from us, or we're trying to do something that's not our dream. And so when you're like, no, this is my dream, it's what I want to do, then what is holding me back? And those are usually these thoughts. This is usually the culprit. The supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to, the must just takes all the energy out of your sail if you put a bunch of expectations around your dream. And that's usually by looking at when we're in the future or the past, that's what steals our energy. When we come back to the moment and enjoy living the dream in the moment, that's where the energy comes from. But if I look at like, well, ultimately this is what I want for my dream, and I get attached to a future outcome, it's exhausting thinking, but I've got to go 100,000 steps that direction. I'm just tired thinking about it. That's what happens. But when you come back to here, yeah, yeah, just little mini baby steps. And it's just taking one thing at a time. And it's like, okay, but enjoying the now, right? Because otherwise, if you can't enjoy this moment, you're not going to enjoy the future when you get to that perceived, you know, um, outcome, because you're not enjoying it. You're looking for the next thing after that. So be here now and enjoy the journey. So I feel like that's what they're wanting you to do about creativity. Just take time to connect to creator, be here in the moment, connecting, be here now with creator, enjoying stepping towards your dream. Right? Relaxing. All right. So that's what they have for that one for you, Supernova. So thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. And then Patty, you are up next. Let me give that donation some love there. So, hello, hello. So, Patty, along with a career change, you've been considering relocating abroad for a fresh start with your son. Will this be for your highest good? All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit is letting you know about movement to a new location. Is this for your highest good and anything else I want you to know? Wow. All right. So, we'll look at those. See what we got here. All right. So I got to crunch my cough drop. All right. Well, I do like this for you. You've got the strength card, you've got the judgment card, and you got the 5 of cups. And with the strength card here, this is about, your human self and your higher self. And the judgment card is about your human self and your higher self. This calling in this draw, and there is this change. And I feel like with these 3 cards together is telling you is that this is your higher self nudging you and pulling you into this to move and to go to this new relocation abroad, because it's going to allow this shift of emotion. It's going to allow this transformation because you've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins, new opportunity in the outside world. You got the 3 of Cups, which represents joy and celebration, very positive card. And it also represents spirit and your spiritual posse. So, with this new opportunity, you can also, of course, ask spirit to help you and guide you in these directions. And, they won't meddle in your life unless you ask of your own free will. Of course, you ask for things before you come down here and go, here's your honeydew list, to your spirit guides and everyone. And they're like, all right, we're on it, right? And then when you come down here, they're like behind you and supporting you, always doing all those other things. But we can still, of our own free will and power of choice, ask them for signs and answers and different things, and they'll help us. they'll even, because they're back behind us supporting us, they're not like, you know, shoving us in anything besides what we asked to be shoved by, which is all these other things. You wanted to go abroad, and that's why all this stuff is nudging you to go there. But beyond that, they'll just kind of go just to let you know that they're there through repeating numbers, synchronicities, things that you're like, well, this is weird. And they're like, that's us. We're here just in case you need us. Just a little reminder. They won't, impose their will on ours because they honor our free will and respect it so much. So I love this, that it is designed and all of that. And you got the 10 of cups. So emotional fulfillment. You definitely have a happy, fulfilling emotions on the other side, both you and your son. And the 10 of wands isn't, again, a 10 of cups. 10 of wands is this can be burden, but with the 10 of cups and the king of pentacles, which is severe abundance, all of this is about abundance fulfilling. So there's no doubt in my mind that going abroad is for your highest good. With all these cards, it is basically your higher self and spiritual posse going, yeah, that's all of us, drawing you to this new location because of the emotional, the physical abundance of it all that's going to be unfolding for both of you. So I like it for you, Patty. Definitely like 10 thumbs up. It's like they're all yes, 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 yes. So if you're unsure of where or how or any of that, you can definitely ask Spirit for guidance and for clarity, and they definitely will show it for you. So I like it. That's what they have for you, my dear. So thank you again for your donation. Many blessings. And then Johanna, hello, hello. Let me give your donation some love here. And hi, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on in my love life? Let's take a look. Let me just, shuffle these up here and take a quick sip here. All right. What the heck is going on in your love life, Johanna? Let's take a look here. Boom, boom, boom. What else? All right. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So you got 3 cards, 2 cards, 3 cards, and then smack in the middle, you've got the 9 of coins, the 9 of pentacles. Here in your hands is spirit. You're in this garden, and you are learning this sense of independence here. So there definitely is this energy here of being, you know, true to yourself, true to you, looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And so there is this kind of blocking of like love life, because it's like spirit is having this alone time. 9 is the number of the hermit, so there's like this hermit's journey. It's like this, you're being pocketed away in solitary confinement from love life for a little bit, not out of punishment but for you, because it's keeping you from having to deal with other people that would not be for your highest good. It's like if you're ever in a bar and you have like your girlfriends or whatever, some guys head in towards you and they cut them off. No. That's kind of spirits going, no, 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 no. We got something so much for you. But they're allowing you to take this time to raise your love vibration so that who comes in is not what you've had before. And if you feel people being pulled out of your life, being repelled out of your life, it's your higher self and spiritual posse going, I'm cleaning house. I'm creating space for them to come in. So what else we've got here? Yeah. Yeah, you do. You will have movement here. I mean, you've got the chariot, which is movement, and you've got the knight of swords, which is movement of thought and belief and mindset. So you definitely have this uh victory that's coming here because you're changing your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And with the combination of those two together, it definitely is this cutting away our expectations, well, this is who they're supposed to be, and this is where I'm supposed to meet them and how, and this is how it's supposed to unfold, and this is who I'm supposed to be in it. There's a lot of rules that are being cleared away because if things move forward, you would miss out on these beautiful, faded relationships because with all those expectations, we've got such a small view of who we will allow to come into our life and how and when and blah, blah, blah. So there's all of this that we're missing out on. And this is what's happening during this solitary confinement. That's funny that they said that because it's your clearing, you're doing your thinking, you're doing your reflecting. I would journal about what you feel you want in someone and then why, and just question all of those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are rooted in fear of not being lovable, not being acceptable, fear of rejection, fear of failure, all those delicious emotions, right? Yeah, and then yeah, so here we go. So you got the 9 of swords, which is the nightmare and insomnia card, and the 9 is good. Another 9, which is, of course, the hermit's journey and looking into all your thoughts and beliefs. And what are all these thoughts and beliefs about? It's about here you got the subconscious, the child, energy here with Leo energy, which is diving into the inner child, and the 10 of cups. What does success mean in a relationship? Whoa, what does a relationship, what is it defined as? And this is the questioning of all of these thoughts and these beliefs around these that are coming in here. So what these other ones are here too. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you definitely have, it is this, sorry, it is this, you got the high priestess and the queen of cups. Queen of cups is like the high priestess, or like sisters or close cousins, because the queen of cups gets a second portion of water, so very empathic, very emotional, able to dive deep. The high priestess, you step back, you dive deep, you go behind the veil, connect with spirit, and so all of this is super reflective on emotions. And the three of wands is about you change directions on what you're allowing into your life and how with that three of wands, because the more you question, the more you're like, well, I thought I was going to go, because everyone told me, that I'm supposed to go to Hawaii for my vacation and all my life, and so I've been planning and planning to go to Hawaii, and but everything keeps on falling through. It's like, well, because spirit doesn't want you to go Hawaii. They want you to go to Bali or Jamaica or to Alaska or somewhere else that's more in alignment with your future, and where your higher self wants to bring you, right? So that's what's going on in your love life. There's like this pause, allowing you to have this time to reflect, to release yourself from all this past stuff, so that it'll nudge you and you'll change course, which will put you in alignment with like someone who's going to be a higher vibrational love that will match your higher vibrational love when you get to that. And it's going to be like a dream come true rather than a nightmare come true. So that's what's going on, my dear. So thank you again for your donation. That's what they have for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. Right. And then Supernova, we have your additional one. Give that some love. And then Yasmari, you'll be up after that. Right. And so you want to know, why are you so drawn to music and creating and yourself? Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? Yeah, you're a Leo sun, Libra rising. That's your answer. Let's take a look here. To this one. And these two. All right. Let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh. I laugh because the first card out is the Hermit again. They're just being hilarious now. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Ah, beautiful. create an expressive yourself. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, you've got the, because so you have the hermit, which is, you know, the reason why you're drawn to music is, with your higher self, um and I'll show you these other cards here in a sec, but it's because of how you want to what your higher self chose for the path for you to be on, right? Before you came down here, they looked at all of the it's like, if you look at all the tattoos on a wall, when you're gonna go get a tattoo and you're like, "What do I want? What am I drawn to?" That's what they're showing me. You're like your higher self that's looking at all the life possibilities that are there, and you're like, "That one's interesting. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna do that lifetime, then I'm gonna do that lifetime, and then this lifetime. That's good." And they're looking at what kind of adventures that they want, and it's so they chose specifically all of this, um, the soup of who you are with all your astrology, your numerology, your life path purpose, and the family that you wanted. You had to be in this specific family, surrounded by these particular people, these specific events, and you saw all the possibilities of your life. But a big piece of that just fulfills all of this, there's this music and creative draw, it's like, when you look at, especially in astrology, south node, north node, if you ever have a chance to look at those, they are what we're born with, what we come into this life with, that we are challenged to overcome, which is the lowest expression of our being, is the human experience. And then the highest, what we want to try to achieve, is the north node. So it's kind of like here's the challenges, the lower vibration that we always will revert to in stress, and then the higher vibration that we're striving for. And it's all part of that. So yeah, it's just part of your nature. It's part of what was chosen here. And you've got the seven of coins, the seven of pentacles, and this queen of swords, which is, the mind being balanced with the heart. The seven of coins, can be the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, but also is telling me that you could choose something else, but you would always be drawn back to music. It's like you can be like, well, you know what, I want to feel responsible. That's the balancing of the heart and the mind. It's like the mind goes, well, I want to be responsible, so I'm going to get a job in like retail, and then or call center, and then I'm going to go do these things, and once I get enough money, then I'll kind of maybe pursue music. And then it's like, but you don't have the life in you to do those other things. It's like the mind is telling you you should, and then you try to go do it, but it's like empty in comparison to this draw. So you would always be drawn back to music, and you just can't help it. Just can't help it, because ultimately, yeah, you have the Palace of Cups. And the palaces are unique just to this deck. They don't are not normally part of a tarot deck, but this is creating a safe space to express emotion. Wow, that's pretty powerful. And so this is like, it's your draw. It's like part of your journey is to create this space for your own self, this space of um transforming and feeling and flowing through your emotions, but also creating that safe space for others. And you've got the Lover's card, which is power of emotional choice, and Two of Wands, power of energy. So, again, this power to choose which one, what you want to do with your life, um, lower vibrational, higher vibrational, but they definitely have this, you know, it's you have a choice, but you almost don't have a choice. Because they're reminding me, One of my dear friends, she's an astrologer, and when she pulled my chart, she was like, "Normally, I tell people you have this choice in your life of what you want to do and what you're going to use your energy for." But she goes, with the placement of like, I have a ton of Pisces in my chart, which is the natural connection to spirit world. I even have a Pisces moon, which is even more so, and different planets in different places. And she's like, there's like no way that you could not do what you're doing. It's like you could try to fight it, but it's like, trying to swim up in rapids. She's like, it's just easier to go with the flow. And I feel like that is for you as well, that this is just part of your journey, part of your being, part of the soup of who you are. And it's just easier just to go with the flow of it and be not resist it, and and go with that. Yeah. Yeah, you could call it destiny. And it's more you know destiny. There's not a whole ton that's like absolutely has to happen, because this is more of a journey and adventure, not a task oriented like work. This life isn't designed to be work, though sometimes it feels like it. It's an adventure. And so there might be like, ultimately, I want to, go to these different places in the world on my worldly travel, but there's no like, you're destined to, whatever. You're just given natural abilities, it's part of your nature, but doesn't mean that you will, you know, what are you gonna do with it, right? You can do minimum, and there's no right or wrong. Your adventure it's like a vacation. You can do the standard package where I got a hotel and I'm gonna go be by the beach every day and that's it. Or people are like, "Oh, but I also wanna go snorkeling and horseback riding, and I wanna go on that mountain hike, and, oh, they're having a luau, and they're having this, and I wanna do those things too." And you can actually take a ferry to go to another island nearby. I wanna do that, but you don't have to, and there's no right or wrong. People are, humans will judge others, by their own desires, right? Oh, you should go want to do all that stuff. Other people are like, oh my God, it sounds amazing. A week of doing nothing but, sitting on the beach, drinking fruit punch, eating and napping, and, doing what I want to do with no plans, and this is the kind of energy that comes in with it. So I like it. So, no pressure, it's just, the draw for it, but to the extent of what you do is up to you, right? You have the ability to be Madonna, or Taylor Swift, or we all have this ability where if we invest all this energy and do everything, we can make a huge impact if we want to. But there's no have to, and there's no disappointment. Oh, you didn't do that. Because it's like, maybe you did that in other lifetimes, and they're like, when you've done it all the time, it's like, how many horseback rides, can you do before you get bored, right? I'm gonna try something else, and it's okay. So, you know, lightening up and allowing yourself to express it. You could be a locally known musician, or only known on, YouTube, or, with a small following or whatever. There's no pressure to be, you know, it's about, what do you want to do? And that usually excites us more, because instead of having this big goal that you have to do so much just to, these expectations, you live a life full of lack instead of low expectations, and everything you do is above and beyond awesomeness, right? So that's what they have for you, Supernova. Again, thank you for all your multiple donations. I appreciate you. And Yasmar, or Yasmari, thank you so much for your donation. Give that some love there. And I want to know, hi, what can you expect next year? Let's see. What does Spirit want you to know? What is coming your way, or what do they want you to know about next year? 2024. Can you believe it's just around the corner here? Okay. So the energy on the bottom of the deck is you're going to have this year that's going to fly by. It's going to be very exciting, a lot of activity, a lot of movement. Plus, you also are going to have um, a lot of messages from spirit that are going to be around you. So the more that you can be still and quiet and listen, the more clarity you'll have on messages from spirit too. I like it. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we've got here. All right. And what about these here? All right. And what about these here? All right. So you do have here um, ending of major cycles, beginning of new adventures. So major arcana too. So you definitely have this significant transformations and transitions, which makes sense with that Eight of Wands too. A lot of change, a lot of movement. In addition to the Eight of Wands, you also have the Eight of Swords, which is this, changing of thought and belief and mindset. You're becoming aware of what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets blinded you, um, you know, made you feel trapped and restricted and bound. And eight's our number of flow. That's why all this energy. So it feels like you have a lot of your thoughts and beliefs that fall away, and then you're able just to move forward, because you also have the Page of Swords. So connecting to the higher truths up above, getting a lot of clarity about your life and direction. And this is with the the Page and the Eight of Swords is this um letting go of fears, letting go of these restrictions, and seeing things just from this higher perspective in your life. You definitely have here with the Devil card and the Four of Cups. This change, this is emotional stability that comes in, but it comes after this. Here's the Devil card. It's shadow energy, which the our shadow comes in and does this for us. They rattle the cage to make us realize there's an open door. You don't have to stay in our, the self-imposed cage that we had. They burst the bubble. They show us the cage is of our own doing, and we get to free ourselves from it. What I mean by our own doing is when we're growing up, we're given a lot of thoughts, beliefs, and mindsets that come in, that people give to us as popular opinion. And we're children, we don't know any better. We're just taking it all and shoving it all in our head and into our subconscious. And then we later go, why do I believe this? What am I going to do? And that's the sorting out of it here. That's where this Four of Cups comes in, because all these beliefs about the outside world fulfilling us, we find this inner love. We turn inward and upward. And, especially with the high priestess and this energy below, the connection to spirit really allows you to see things, um, capital T truths, that are rooted in that unconditional love you find in your heart, that eternal unconditional love, stability. And when that becomes your solid foundation, instead of all those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, all those things telling you to look for a relationship that's going to fulfill you, look for job, education, situational stuff that's going to fulfill you, look into your body, money, possessions, homes, those things are going to fulfill you, but they all because they're all unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. So relationships are not forever. They're not stable. That's why it turns us inward and upward to find stability. Situations, jobs, all that never stay the same. And of course, things in the physical world break down, deteriorate, blow up, stolen. And so it's like there's this change of mindset, the change of focus that changes and allows a great flood to come forward, because you do have this um, chariot card that comes in here. And the chariot card shows you, that you are, a lot of movement, first of all, like we already knew that was happening, but it's the power of choice card, which shows that you get to choose what something means with the stories that you have in your head. You get to decide what it means. You get to decide how you feel as you go through it. You get to decide the energy you put forward, and then you also get to decide the physical actions you take in the world, and that you can't choose for anyone else. Everyone chooses how they are feeling. You can't make anyone happy, and you can't make anyone sad. Yeah, you can make it easier or harder for people to choose fear or love, but also no one can make you happy. No one can make you sad. You choose. And that's empowering year next year through all this. And you have the Four of Wands, which is stable energy. It also is joy, celebration that comes in here. It's the marriage card too. So there's always a possibility of that. But I feel like they're saying it's a year where you choose joy, you choose joy, you choose joy. Um, and I like that. So um, when you choose joy and unconditional love and laughter and gratitude, that raises our love vibration, that draws in things that match that energy. And with that Four of Wands, that also is about energetic stability. So there's a great balance that comes in where you're just not drawn off into a lot of drama as you learn throughout the year of I get to choose. Everyone else is choosing their experiences. There's nothing wrong, there's neither right or wrong. We came here to experience lower vibrational energy and emotions and experiences, but it's not we're not trapped in that. We always have another choice. There's two choices every moment. Now there's unconditional love and joy and laughter and gratitude, like we're talking about, and they just bring different results. There's no right or wrong. And from spirit's point of view, you're there for an adventure. Go enjoy it. And when you are done feeling lower vibration, you always have another option. And then if you get bored, you can go back to the other. It's like swimming in a nice cool pool during summer, and then winter comes and you're like, oh, I don't want to swim in this cold water. I'm getting in the hot tub. And then after a while in the hot tub, you feel like you're a boiling frog. And then you're like, I'm going to jump into the cold pool for a minute. And you're like, whoa, the shock. And then you're like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go back into the hot tub. So there's no right or wrong. There's just preference of timing in your life and what you're looking for. And I like this power that comes in here with all that. So that's what they have for you, Yasmari. So many blessings to you. And thank you again for your donation. All right. And let me just make sure here. I think that's the end of my donations. So let me just make sure there's nothing else here. Okay, very good. So let me just check one other place here. I just want to make sure I'm not. All right, perfect. So we're about an hour in, and I'll be on for about another hour. I'll try to get through as many free readings as we can here. And so, new love, we are starting off with you at the top. And I'm going to be using, like I said, this beautiful Santa Muerta deck for the free readings. And for anyone new, if you do want your reading prioritized, a donation of any kind does that. I do dive deeper into those, as you had seen. For the free readings, I usually do 1 to 2 card readings for us. But if you want to dive deeper, we can do that too with a donation, of course. So you want to know, would Johanna want to be a friend or stay in contact with you after your work with her is done? Let's take a look here. Wow. So we've got the Justice card and the Queen of Swords. So there is a lot of swords energy here, a lot of mental energy, balancing of heart and mind here. I feel like with all of this, they're mainly like business oriented here. I don't feel like, they kind of balance things with the heart. I don't I feel like they are very much I want to say a workaholic. That's the kind of energy I'm getting from those cards coming out. Is they're very cerebral. They're very much about task oriented. I feel like they're resonating with my Capricorn rising, which is the work, the work, the work. Go, go, go. I can get so tasky that it's like, what? relationships, friendships, what? And I feel like that's what they have there is that they're very much, work, 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 work. And I feel like when they're working with people on something, there's a working relationship there, and that's where I feel like they meet all their friends at work in doing work, but I feel like they don't do a ton of things outside of work. So just I feel like there's a little bit of heart in there, but a lot of mental work energy. So I would say that it's like, well, kinda, but not the friend that you would want. Because I feel like you are more, a huge heart, and you like to, have a lot of communication and have this what you would call a true friendship. I feel like they more have acquaintances than friends by your viewpoint, but from their viewpoint, they have friends. That's who their friends are, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in for you, new love. Um, so that's what they have. So many blessings to you. All right. All right. And then Dajona, you will be up next for my next reading, but I do have a donation that came in. Hey, Nat Nat. Let me give your donation some love here. And you're very welcome, Yasmari. All right, Nat Nat. Thank you for that donation. You want Spirit's message for you, Natalie. All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to switch back decks here to the Tarot of Dreams. Let's give them a quick shuffle, shuffle. And let's see what they have here for you. What does Spirit want you to know? All right. All right. What do they want all those for? And on the bottom of the deck, you have the Strength card here, which does have this energy here of, and the Ace of Swords too, which they wanted to point out because this is about a stronger communication that you've been having with your spirit self and with your spiritual posse. So if you've been wondering, if you've been feeling like you've been going through some sort of upgrade or expansion with hearing from spirit, recognizing messages from spirit, wondering, is that from them or not? Yeah. You really have been developing this tighter knit, this more fluid communication with spirit. So they definitely want you to have that. And you've got the 5 of Cups coming in here. So this is also they're showing here that you've been working on your power of emotional choice, and that I feel like you're so, like all of us, they're showing like in the beginning, we come here to experience lower vibrational emotion, and then we feel guilty about feeling lower vibrational emotion because we feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to feel that way. So we push emotions down and they keep coming up and down and up and down. Eventually you reach this point of going with the flow, allowing yourself to feel those emotions, doing your shadow work, which so I feel like you've done all this, going through this journey. And now you're in this wonderful empowerment going, I get to choose how I feel in each moment, but there's nothing wrong with choosing lower vibrational emotion. And I like this that yeah, it doesn't mean that we have to act on those emotions and, kick a puppy. Not that we'd never kick a puppy, but kick a puppy or throw something across the room. Rah! It's like, no, we don't have to act on those emotions, but we can feel them, flow through them. And I feel like this is a big important thing that spirit wants you to recognize, that you look at how far you've come in that. And it's like something to be proud of, like they're showing you here. Yeah. And yeah, so here's the Hermit and the King of Cups, balancing of heart and mind. And of course, with the Hermit card, this is communicating and allowing spirit to guide you here. And again, there's this continue to have this alone time. But, the King of Cups kind of has Christ consciousness energy. And I feel like there's been this journey of, you know, like, how hermits go to mountaintops or go into a cave. but at some point it's time to step out more and share more with the outside world. And I feel like this is spirit going, it is okay. It's you have a lot to share. You have a lot that can help others too. There's a great meme about, um, pages from your survival manual can become pages of other people's survival manuals too. Not that your survival manual, the complete one, becomes someone else's because we're so different and so much, and you don't have responsibility for doing all of that. But it's like you can photocopy a page to give it to other people, and they can put that in their survival manual if they so choose. And I like this that you have that. You're yeah, hermit makes sense then, right? Too funny. Yeah. And I feel here, I mean, here's again this Libra energy that's coming in here with the Three of Swords, which is the expectations equal disappointment. And the Five of Wands is this transformational energy of transforming from fear to love. And I like this. Again, there's this, energy that comes in about um how you've done this, how you have let go of fears, how you've transformed things in your life. And you definitely have this um very compassionate, almost mother energy of a big nurturer, we'll put it that way, nurturing energy, where you can help so many individuals transform their things too. So if you've been looking into doing any kind of spiritual work or counselor, becoming a psychologist, anything that can help people transform their lives, it's very supported here. Let's see what these other cards are here. Yeah. So palaces, this is a very unique cards. There's four palaces in this deck that are not in any other tarot deck. And so Palace of Coins is about creating a safe space in the physical world. And it always reminds me of the Wizard of Oz and the Emerald City, which the message is helping people realize that they always have had everything they need inside of themselves. And I feel like there's this empowerment that comes in with all of this too, because you're able to show people here with the Page of Cups and the Four of Cups to find their inner love, to find a higher love within themselves. And this is, right in alignment. It's like, you're teaching people who are the Tin Man, Tin Man was looking for a heart, right? And I feel like this is the kind of individual that you help find, maybe people who have gone through some very emotional times where they kind of disconnected and shut down their emotions, where it's almost like they feel empty, like they are a tin man, bunk, 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 like he would do in The Wizard of Oz. It's like he was hollow, he felt hollow on the inside. But you help people find themselves again and find that heart that's been in there all along. Um, they just haven't been aware of it. So I really feel here with the full card, you're ready for this new adventure. You're ready for this expansion. And all of this has just been leading up to that. You've got this, this is the first card, the zero in the major arcana, which is leaving behind, old cycles. It's completing of old cycles, beginning of new adventures that are free of a lot of expectation. And I feel like Spirit is saying, with this nudge towards helping others and sharing your story, getting it on paper, is it through videos? Is it through formal education? Is it through some sort of modality that you want to do? You get to discover it. There's no wrong way, but it's time to take a step toward it. The adventure's unfolding. Try not to put too many expectations around it, like the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos, the blah, blah, blah. Well, when people are going to do this is generally what they do. They're like, let your heart lead the way and find a unique way that you want to do it. That's what happened when like people discovered paint therapy. You know, there was a therapist who enjoyed painting. They didn't want to do the regular, they got bored with sitting listening to people share everything. And so they started to have people express themselves through painting and helping people with through that way. And it's like, yeah, who would have thunk, right? And I love that for you, Natalie. So that's what Spirit has for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. Again, thank you so much for your donation. I'm excited for what you're going to do. Right. So I think that was it for donations. Yep. You are very welcome. All right. So Dijona, hello, hello. Shout out to one of my members of my YouTube channel. They all appear in green with a little badge. So thank you for helping support my channel and giving me the opportunity to be able to offer these free readings. So you'd like a general reading. Let's see. What does Spirit want you to know right now? Dijona, right? Do want these two. All right. Look at two major arcana. You've got the Emperor and the Hanged Man. And this does tell me that, this waiting time is over. The Hanged Man is like a kind of like a butterfly, right, in the cocoon. But the Emperor is Aries, movement, energy, decisions to be made. And, the Emperor, whatever you felt has been on hold, or you've been waiting for some things, waiting for a sign, waiting for things to unfold. It's like, okay, the waiting is over. You're about to, you're getting a lot of advice, a lot of information from the outside world and people, a lot of advisors like the Emperor does. But there is this time of clearing away, of stepping away from everyone's opinion and deciding, how do you want to live your life? What do you want to do with, whatever this pause has been in your life? And it's, um, about putting form around what you want to do and how you want to get there and then taking action toward it. So this is a time of the wait is over, steps, steps. Just start taking the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. You can put form around it. It doesn't mean that you have to put form of the next 50 years around it, but just put some form around it and start movement, start taking action, because it's time. So the waiting is over. I like it. Right. And that's what they have for you, Dijona. So many blessings to you. And then Magana, you are up. So SW's gotten very comfortable with you. And you also caught him looking at you a lot of times. Ooh, okay. Why is he being so weird? He literally said no to you just because he liked someone else. All right. So why is he being so weird? Let's see what Spirit wants you to know here. Yeah. So you got the Devil card energy and the Knight of Pentacles. Slowest moving knight here. And this knight is on a quest for their worth for the Ace of Coins. So, there is this pursuit of understanding your worth in relationship to the outside world. And the Devil card is, our shadow energy. It's Saturn, Capricorn energy, which, they rattle the cage. They shake up your beliefs and mindsets about things. And it was funny because the reason I laughed was because when you go, why are they being so weird? They're like, well, it's a mirror. They're a mirror. So how are you being weird? And then we get the Devil card, which is about us reflecting and showing us our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets. And we're like, okay, so the projection I'm putting on them, where's that existing within ourselves? Because they're being a mirror for you on purpose, for purpose. But your quest of your own worth in relationship to the outside world is what is coming up between those two cards. So it's like, all right, so what with your interactions with them, we don't even know what's going on in the outside world because we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So if I see weirdness out there, that's because there's weirdness going on in here. And I can resonate with that. It's like if I see the world is at war, it's because I'm at war in my mind. And if I see the world at peace, it means I have peace on the inside. And it depends on how we're feeling in everything in the moment. So I feel like Spirit is saying, all right, look at what did I want to learn from this experience. And when they're looking at me, how am I looking at them? Because that's telling me what I'm seeing in my mirror. So how you perceive them is really your reflection. And so how is that true inside of you, right? How is it more true inside of you that you're acting weird towards yourself, towards them, towards the world, towards something? Because they're just this reflection showing you what you want to see until you see it. And you'll continue to have people looking at you weird until you um, resonate with your own weirdness. So I love that. So that's what they have for you, Magana. So many blessings to you. All right. So, charming girl, you're up next. And you want to generate? I'm just going to take a quick sip here. So, charming girl, what does spirit want you to know right now? Okay. All right. Two major arcana. So spirit wants you to know here with the temperance card and the star card. Star card is like dreams come true. It's like wishing upon a star, and there is balance that comes in with it too. But you already have the temperance card, which is about balance and patience and tempering as things unfold, right? So there's this underlying message of it's worth the wait, that and that even though it might feel like at times things are not unfolding, things are not moving, you feel stagnant, just know that with the tempering card, the temperance, it's alchemy. Each time the energy goes back and forth between the two cups, it's transforming a little more towards gold, a little more towards gold, because it starts out as like a base metal, but as it's going back and forth between the cups, it's getting closer and closer to gold, and then suddenly, boom, it turns to gold. And so it's worth the wait here, this dream come true, this wish come true, and and just to trust the process, trust the timing, that everything will work out perfectly in the perfect timing. And while we're waiting for things to unfold and for things to go forward, that we don't have to sit there waiting. We can also be, thinking about what thoughts no longer serve me. And it's like kind of cleaning up and making space for this dream to come true. But if we have a bunch of old furniture clogging up the living room that we're going to get the new living room furniture delivered to, it's getting rid of things, sorting things emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically, clearing house, this being your house, right? Clearing the house and preparing for this to come here. And the more energy you put into raising your love vibration and opening the space, that's when things come in faster too. So I like that for you, charming girl. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Goddess Angelic Vibes 1111. You're up next. So who is coming towards you? Let's take a look here. All right. Well, with the lovers card, an important relationship can be romantic. It doesn't have to be, but romance is possible. Connecting to your higher self, a new best friend, connecting with a family member, could be any of those or all of those. But with the Page of Swords, they are whoever this is. It is someone who sees things from a different perspective, sees things in a different way. They definitely, it feels very air, an air element, air sign. So, Gemini, Aquarius, um, Libra, any of those, or a lot of thinking energy, but definitely it's an important thing to come in here. The Page of Swords does say that something that helps is seeing things from a different perspective. When we drop our expectations and even some past judgments, it feels like this person is someone that you already know. So I don't, it's like, but it's different now, and the communication is different. So if it's been a while, that I don't feel like it's an ex, or, if it's romance, I feel like it's someone you knew, but it would be like you both were not available like whenever they were dating. Um, you were single, they were dating, they were single, you were dating someone. And so it just was never like this. You were never on the same path. And it might even be that you weren't even interested in each other because of who you were like 5, 10 years ago. And now it's like you're different people. And so I feel like yeah, definitely there is this love energy that comes in there. So if you're looking for romance, here they come. And with it being a page of swords, it is newness. It is this new energy coming in. So it would be here, maybe even by the end of December. All right. And that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. And then on Jushri Dubé, you'd like a spirit message. So what does spirit want you to know right now? Okay, I feel like I need to shuffle these. All right. So what are spirit's messages? All right. Wow. So three major arcana with basically the same message for all three. Because you've got the strength card, which is your human being in contact with your higher self. You got the judgment card, which is your human being in contact with your higher self. And you got the hermit card, which is an encouragement to step back and connect with your higher self and your spiritual team. So the judgment card is kind of like the calling card. And I feel like this is spirit saying you're strengthening your relationship with the spirit world, and they are definitely wanting to speak with you, now that you I feel like you have this passion of wanting to hear from them anyway. But with all three of these cards, they're like it's an invitation to step away from all the noise, to spend time just chatting with them. You don't have to do anything too structured, like, oh, I've got to do this and this ritual and the blah blah blah. They're like, Chat with us like you would a close friend. We're always around you. We can understand your thoughts, your emotions. We know it all. We're know-it-alls. But we won't interfere in your free will, in your power of choice. You just have to ask us. There's a bunch of stuff you want them to do, like a honey-do list, as I say, that you gave them before you came down here. They're constantly working on that. But while we're down here, they honor and respect our free will and power of choice, that they won't meddle unless we ask them to outside of what we already asked them to. So, talk to them, spend time chatting with them, because you do have this draw that they're drawing you to this higher place. It's like an upgrade type of energy. And with this new moon coming up in the 12-12 portal, it's like they're wanting you to really spend some quiet time with them because they have a lot to tell you. Journal, however you connect with them. They're really encouraging you to do that. Paint, whatever it is. But you have this upgrade in there guiding you. And I feel like you have this desire to, understand what your life purpose is, or how do I want to do this. And they'll share some stuff with you and guide you in your dharma, how to your life purpose, what you wanted to accomplish and how. And